Like there are all these problems with, mainstream media that we talk about all the time. I mean, corporate media is a cesspool. And by the way, I would take any independent media person or new media person over traditional media any day of the week. So don't get me wrong here with the criticism that I'm levying. Back to the matter is,
I'm really glad that he said that because I've been noticing something really bizarre on breaking points. And a lot of independent media, they like to, and they're in it's a business, right? They like to present themselves as better than the competition. They are competing, or they try to compete with mainstream media. So they like to talk about how horrible mainstream media is, and it is. But then they act as if independent media is somehow better, right? And I see that as very, very problematic and dishonest, perhaps. But when he makes a statement like that, that lets us know just how deep the rabbit hole goes. So let me translate what he just said. He would take Alex Jones over CNN or ABC News. He would take Tim Pool over ABC News or CNN. He would take Liberal Hive Mind or that Canadian dude that does nothing but talk about Trump every single day. What a stupid thing to say. And again, this shows how deep the rabbit hole goes. Because when I talk about it's problematic how they keep talking about the mainstream media as if mainstream media is somehow evil, right? And by presenting it that way, they are obscuring the real problem. For profit media is the problem. Partisan media is the problem. Especially partisan media is a problem. And independent media is the most partisan media you can find. There's no mainstream media that can compete with how partisan independent media is. I mean, independent media is so partisan that they even call themselves partisan. Not that actual word, but they'll say left wing media or right wing media or conservative media. They will put a political prefix before their media. That's how partisan they are. Overtly so. Don't even try to hide it. Dem media, GOP media. So Kyle is so deep down the rabbit hole that he really thinks that somehow because I'm independent and it's just me in my basement making videos, somehow that makes me magically have integrity and makes me automatically better than mainstream media. What is so bad about ABC News that he would think that this partisan trash on the left and the right that we have all over is somehow better? He would take that any day. How about living in the real world like I live in the real world? I would take an objective, nonpartisan media any day over partisan media, right? Notice how I'm focusing on the actual problems. Mainstream media is not a problem because it's mainstream. It's a problem because they're greedy, they're partisan, they're focused on profits, and these are the same things that you find in independent media. Partisan, greedy, focused on profits. But in independent media, they're a lot more loose with it. So they get more extreme. They take the partisan methods and strategies you see mainstream media doing and they crank it up to 10. Look at Jackson Hinkle. His entire channel is talking about the Ukraine war. Can you imagine if CNN did that? Jimmy Dore turned his channel into the COVID channel. Can you imagine ABC News doing that? Christo, whatever his name is, turned his entire channel into the Trump channel. These are the forms of media that Kyle somehow thinks is magically better just because they're independent. As if it's the non-independence that's the problem as opposed to the profit motives, which absolutely exists with independent media. In fact, it's far worse. If you're an independent media doing it for the full time, it's hard with the algorithm and all this kind of nonsense and trying to keep up with the trends and whatever. And you're doing this to eat and put a roof over your head. Who do you think is going to have more trouble being objective and honest? The multi-millionaire host on ABC News or CNN have a whole entire infrastructure and an official career, right? With options, they could move to this and move to another department, whatever. They got benefits, vacation, 401k. Who would be most uncomfortable and therefore desperate and more likely to be dishonest? Who's hurt the most? if they don't do what it takes to get those clicks? You think these multimillionaires are worried about losing their homes? Or you think these independent YouTubers are? This is what happens when you have people like Breaking Points that keep focusing on demonizing the mainstream media. Mainstream media is absolutely toxic. CNN, MSNBC, trash. But most of the partisan media is far worse. They have no holds barred. Even CNN has limits. As you can see, they eventually even fire some people. No one's firing these YouTubers. They can say and do whatever they want. They are not accountable to anyone. And what they do affects how much money they make. So you're not accountable to anyone, and the way you cover things and what you cover affects your ability to pay your bills. It's going to be very, very difficult to find people in that situation who will choose the philanthropic approach. I'm just going to do the right thing, even though I know doing the right thing is going to hurt my ability to pay my bills, right? And my audience is mostly not going to appreciate it. They're going to probably go to somebody else who's going to give them the partisan stuff they want. But I'm a philanthropist, so I'm gonna do objective media, honest media. I'm not gonna focus on trends. I'm not gonna pander to people's ideologies, right wing, left wing. No, I'm gonna be very nice and balanced. A lot of substance. Right. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate Me comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell, be well. And this guy deserves a response video. He is absolutely nuts. 100% nuts. The most ridiculous arguments I've ever heard. And his audience? Bobbleheads. But I know what he's doing. I know what he's up to. And we'll talk about it in a future video. Stay tuned.